Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, hey girlies. So today's video, I don't know why I'm smiling because I'm in pain. Today I wanted to film me doing TikTok dances, and y'all, I blew my hip out last night. I am 23 years old and I blew my hip out. Here in Arizona, it decided to rain out of nowhere. A bitch was wearing Air Force Ones. They don't have much grip. I stepped in a puddle. My leg went twist. I am in pain. I'm sitting down in the most uncomfortable position right now. You guys will eventually get that video. So today instead, we're gonna be doing something else that is just as equally painful. Talking about the worst financial decisions that I made in my 20s. I am only 23 years old, but we're gonna be focusing on 18 to 21 years old in this video. We'll probably end up making this video in the future at some point again, because I'm probably gonna f up again. But for now, we talk about my past ups. So I have my little notebook right here. This is called my oh shit notebook. I usually write things in here that are negative. I decided this is the notebook to write all these numbers in. So we're gonna go ahead and go down the list of money that I have wasted. When I start saying these numbers, I know a lot of people are going to start having strokes and heart attacks, so everybody grab your weaves. So we're gonna first start with the first decision that I think was probably one of the worst ones that I have ever made. I'm gonna be honest, I made a couple of friendships throughout being in LA, but these friendships were not worth almost $70,000 in rent. So my first apartment that I moved into here in Arizona, I was spending $800 a month to live there. Why the f did I move out? I did not need to move into another house and then cancel that lease after 2 or 3 months and move to LA. That was not necessary. I should have stayed my ass here, stayed in that apartment, continued to do my thing, because if we're going to be realistic, what did LA do for me but cause problems? What did it do? I'm waiting. LA did not bring me any opportunities that I needed to be out there for. LA didn't, all it did was put me in the middle of all the drama that I was already in the middle of in Arizona. So if I'm going to be honest, LA was not the good or the best move for me financially and mentally. So my first apartment that I moved into, I was spending around $3,100 on my rent, and this was a 1-bedroom in the middle of Hollywood, which Hollywood smells like pee. So I'm not sure why I thought that it was bougie, but I'm sure a lot of people that move to LA for the first time or visit LA for the first time, they go to Hollywood, they're like, oh my god, this is so nice. Yeah, it's nice when you're not getting swung at by somebody with a sock of butter. It's all cute and colors and lights until somebody that looks like they smell a fish comes up to you and starts kissing you up your arm and you run away screaming. That also happened the first week that I moved there. LA is really only glamorous and nice if you live in the valley and you once in a while frequent the actual city, but like realistically, no. Yeah, there's some parts of LA that are cute, don't get me wrong, but they come at a price. So I lived in that apartment for a year, and then the second apartment I moved into, not sure why I suddenly thought that I needed a 2-bedroom. Now I'm spending $3,200 a month on rent. So in total, I spent between $65,000 to $70,000 on rent. And what I need people to realize is that is money down the drain. You are never getting your money back when you spend it on rent. So my biggest advice that I put in here for people is, as soon as you are financially stable and comfortable with a comfortable amount in your savings account, purchase a home, get a mortgage, invest in property. There is no excuse that I should have spent $70,000 on rent. I could have easily moved to a regular apartment and spent maybe $1,500 to $1,800 on a 1-bedroom, or got in a roommate and we both split it, like $1,800 for like a 2-bedroom and like NoHo or something, maybe $2,000, and split it 1K. I could have done that and I would have felt a lot better about this. But instead, I felt like I had to move into these nice apartment complexes with amenities that I never used and spent all of this money. And like I said, that's just on the rent. I still have to pay $200 to have internet and have cable. I still have to spend 100 something on my phone bill, insurance, all these other things that are playing in. So that's just rent alone, keep in mind. And that genuinely makes me mad because I was spending $800 a month here in Arizona on my apartment, and I could have easily, because what I pay on my house right now, you guys, I only spend about $1,500 a month on my mortgage. I have a 5-bedroom home. Obviously, I did put a really large down payment on my home, if I'm going to be honest, but I would have had that additional $70,000 into a home already if I would have just invested it. The next biggest financial decision that I think I made, honestly, would have to be purchasing vehicles. A lot of people ask me what happened to the i8 Vanessa, you didn't ever tell us about it. There wasn't really a reason why I didn't share it. I just felt like that's not really anybody's business. But I'm gonna go ahead and share with you guys in today's video since this definitely plays a part in it. So when I finally had some coin to my name, I bought an Audi for $25,000. And the thing is, I always, like, still to this day, it was a 2014, but still to this day, I wish I still had that car because it was paid in full. I wouldn't have made all these other decisions. Ugh. So like I said, $25,000 Audi paid in full. My insurance was maybe like $200 a month, so no car payment, just $200 a month, and that would have been that with that. But instead, I thought that I needed another car, and when I shared the reason why I got this car, I'm so sorry, Mom. You raised a smarter bitch than this. I got this car because I needed more room for me and my friends to roll up and smoke in. 19-year-old Vanessa said, let's go get a Range Rover because it'll have more room for us to have our friends in and roll blunts in and go smoke places. So I went ahead and got myself a brand new 2017 Land Rover. I remember putting down about $2,500 on it, which, you guys, I leased the car, keep in mind, I was leasing this one. First of all, leasing a car is one of the stupidest things that you can ever do financially, if I'm going to be honest. I understand, we all want nicer things, I get it. The only way that a lease is smart is if you are the kind of person that constantly wants to change cars. So you sign them for 2 years, you get a new one, you get a new one, you get a new one. But you also need to be financially comfortable for that to make sense in my mind. I don't understand why people lock themselves into $30,000 cars and they're spending like $500 a month when they could have easily just bought themselves like a $5K car and had no car payment, and now your insurance is like $100. Bro, do not have to keep up with people. Do things for yourself. Do things that are going to be financially smart. Don't get a car because you're trying to impress your girlfriend or boyfriend. Don't get a car because you want to outdo someone or appear some way. Fake it or make it is not a real thing. It's fucking whack. Which I've heard other people talk about the exact same model and like making all this stuff with the car that I got, and they're talking about spending like $700, $800 a month. Why was my car payment only $350, but I only put $2,500 down? I don't know how that all works. But my car payment was about $350 a month, which is not that bad, and I have a Range Rover. But my insurance on that car was also an additional $350 a month. So now we're up to about $700 a month on this car. And I still had insurance on my other car, which was about $200. So now I'm spending almost $1,000 on vehicles, basically. Unnecessary. So now we're gonna fast forward a little bit more, and now I'm getting rid of the Audi. Why did I do that? I got rid of the Audi and I decided to buy a BMW i8, and I purchased that for $88,000. I spent $88,000 on that car. I did not even keep the car for a year. Keep in mind, when you drive a car off the lot, it instantly depreciates in value. So I got this car for, like I said, $88,000, and my insurance every month on that car was $950. So about $1,000. And then the Range Rover, the $350 on top of that, and then the other $300. So now I am spending about $1,700 to $1,800 a month on a car, or on cars. At this time I did move back to Arizona, so I was spending a lot less on, you know, property and stuff. So I moved into a townhome and I was spending around $1,400 a month on that. So I guess that kind of like made up for it, like the insurance and all the cars and stuff. That basically put me back up to my like $3,000 that I was spending in LA just on rent. So now, like I said, what I was spending on just my rent alone in LA, now I have my rent every month on the townhouse and then the vehicles. But still, that was not a smart move. Because like I said, I only kept the i8 for less than a year, and after spending all that money on insurance, I just felt like it was so stupid. So what did I do? I sold it. I only got around $70,000 for the car, which means that I lost almost $20,000 within a year of it depreciating. I had gone to several dealers and I was gonna do a private sell, but that was just too many people saying, oh, I'm gonna come and check it out, and never showing up. Or people being like, I'm gonna check it out, can I test drive it? And I'm like, no, show me the money. Like, I'm not gonna let you just test drive the car. You need to prove to me that you could actually purchase it. And the amount of times that people have just been like, okay, never mind. So the i8 was a very bad decision, but with the i8, I went ahead and purchased my Mercedes. So I ended up selling the car, and then I bought my Mercedes, and I think I got that for around $45,000, $46,000. And now I'm only spending around $200 on insurance, so, and I don't have a car payment. I'm glad that I got rid of that thing, but still I look back at it and I'm like, damn, like that was That was an L. It was fun to drive the car around. It was cute, like it was a moment. I felt like that bitch. But just spending that amount of money on something that is just losing more every year, it just felt stupid. Moving on to the next thing that I felt like I wasted a lot of money on, and that would have to be getting my hair done in wigs. I spent almost $8,000 on getting my hair done. I spent almost $8,000 to have someone attach someone else's hair to mine. Bitch. I remember people would ask me, girl, where'd you get your wig from? Where'd you get it laid? And I would tell them, and they'd be like, why'd you spend that much? You could have went to da-na-na-na-na-na. Okay, girl, but you were asking me. But y'all, when I would go and get my hair done, I'd be spending $700 here, $1,200 here, $1,000 here, getting all these wigs and shit, just to wear them maybe 10 times and never use them again. That is so stupid. Obviously, if you're somebody that's wearing a wig every single day, or you're getting these styles done and you're actually like, you know, keeping up with them and taking care of them, sure. But if you're somebody like me that gets bored every 5 seconds and I feel the need to put braids in my hair, take them out 5 seconds later, or do this, sew in, and then take it out 2 weeks later and do another one, not smart. I was really changing my hair up like I had a Kylie budget, bitch. So like I said, about $8,000 on hair alone, which I don't really... It's so much cheaper to just take care of your own hair and grow it out. The next stupid financial decision that I made would have to be on all of the purses that I purchased. My favorite purse that I use every single day cost me around 25-30 bucks, you guys. And here I am with all these fucking Louis bags, Chanel, YSL, Prada. For what? I don't use them. I don't need them. If I'm gonna be honest, I need to throw all those shits on Poshmark and just get the fuck rid of them because they're just sitting there. I am not a bag connoisseur. I am not somebody who collects these things. All I did was, I see it, I like it, I want it, I bought it. I'm gonna be honest, purses are definitely the one thing that I would purchase when I was sad. Like, realistically. Every time I was just going through some shit, I said, bitch, let me go buy a bag. And there you go, see me walking into Chanel, $4,000, here you go. Louis, $3,000. Retail therapy is only gonna make you feel better for maybe a week, and then you're gonna be sitting there looking at the item like, why did I buy that? The next bad financial decision I made was probably on jewelry. Obviously, I do still purchase jewelry for myself if I really, really like it. It's something that I know is gonna be timeless and it is going to hold value. But there have definitely been a couple of things that I have wasted my money on. Like, for example, y'all know that I rock my love bracelets pretty much every day. I never take them off. These ones I don't regret at all, just because like I bought these because I was proud of myself. I only bought these when I hit certain milestones in my life. So it's not like, oh, I saw money and I went and like cashed out. Which, I mean, a bitch did kind of cash out, but like not because I was sad. That's not why I got these. I got these so I could also like remember, like, I don't know, just the time. There were times when I purchased stuff that I thought, that's not even really that cute, but like it's kind of sparkly, so let me buy it. I can't recall all of the times that I have done this, but one of the most significant ones was the time when I bought a $8,000 necklace from Cartier and I lost it within only a couple of months and I didn't care. I like remember not giving a fuck, and I don't understand why I was in that mindset because that's fucking stupid. But I remember I went to this place and I got a spray tan, and when I left, well, when I got there, my necklace was on, but when I left, my necklace was gone. So I obviously probably dropped it in there somewhere. But I remember being home and being like, whatever. That is not okay. I don't understand my mindset. Did I make a ton of money that month? So I was like, it's okay, I could buy it again. I don't see why I thought that shit was okay. That's stupid. Keep in mind, I also bought my mom one as well. So we had like a little twin thing going on, but I lost mine and I just, so stupid. And the last financial decision that I think was probably not that smart for me would have to be how loosely I spent money on vacations and trips. Obviously, I think trips are not that much of a waste of money just because they are memories that you're gonna carry with you for the rest of your life. So I definitely think people should definitely invest in, you know, traveling the world and seeing other things, but do it smart. There is a way to save money on trips, but me, however, I opened up the Expedia app and all I did was type in the location, picked whatever flight I saw, and I left. I did not use Kayak, I did not use Trivago, I did not use any of these apps or go on Google Flights, which my biggest tip for traveling, get your dates, go on Google Flights and put them in on there and it'll show you the cheapest days to fly. So maybe you could even leave a day before and you're saving like $300. But like, I always get my flights through Google Flights now just because it's so much cheaper than everywhere else I have seen. But I remember one time I was going through it and I literally just like left to London. Like, I booked the trip and I left the next day. I spent about $3,500 on 5 days in London. How, bitch? And I had gone back to London about 5 or 6 times, and each time I've spent $3,000 to $5,000 on each trip. $3,000 to $5,000 each time. If I would have just used Trivago, and I promise you this video was not sponsored by Trivago, But if I would have just used one of those traveling apps and actually like looked into other prices, I would have been able to go on these trips for about $1,500 to $2,000 and would have saved thousands and thousands. But like I said, at the time I wasn't thinking. Vacations were the one thing that I didn't cheap out on. I would always make sure that I stayed in the nicest hotels, just because whenever I go into another country and if I'm not aware of everything around me, if I'm, you know, it's something foreign to me, like I don't want to just stay anywhere. I'm not educated enough on the location. So I always make sure that I stay in very nice hotels, and then I have car service. I am extra as fuck. But when it comes to vacation, that is what I did. I would have car service. I would make sure everything was taken care of. So that's how it definitely, you know, got very expensive. There's been times when I could have just walked places, but instead I'm like, forget it, $30 to $50 Uber, it's okay. And this one kind of breaks my heart to talk about, but like, I've taken people on trips that I knew didn't really fuck with me and I knew didn't really care about me, but because I was so lonely in those times, I was like, it's okay, like I just want someone to come with me. And I have done that 2 times in my life, and I dropped $5,000 on both of those trips. That, like, I know it's only $10,000, and to some people you're like, bitch, that's a lot of money, but like, that $10,000 feels so significant because it's like, I gave that to someone that like didn't deserve it. I guess I'm not trying to say they didn't deserve it, like they were mean to me. Like, these were people that weren't really my friend, but like I was blinded. I was very blind at the time. I was very naive. I was young, you know, and I didn't go through a lot of the stuff that I experienced between 18 to 21 when I was younger. So I feel like that's why those things kind of happened then, and that's why I reacted in that way. Because like I said, I did not really have all that drama. I didn't have all that stuff going on throughout high school and junior high. So I feel like I experienced all that high school, junior high bullshit when I was an adult, which is unfortunate, but we all gotta go through it at some point. But that was definitely not a smart move. Like, I did not have to drop all that money on people. I did not have to do that. Like, you cannot buy friendship, and you should not do that. That's not okay. But hey, I wasn't in the good place that I am right now, mentally, physically, emotionally, all of that. Spiritually, it was just not there, and I wish I was at the time, but hey, it's all a matter of time and growth. So that's when I say, like, you guys, give yourself a fucking chance. Like, I know sometimes it's gonna get hard and you feel like it's the end of the world, but like, here I am at 23, finally able to say that I'm happy with myself. I'm mentally like sane. Like, y'all, between 18 to 20, it got bad. And yes, I went through some stuff, but like, bitch, it got bad. I thought that it was never going to get better, but like, here I am, you know, years later, and I can like just say that I'm so grateful that I held on and I was like strong enough to not just like fucking quit, because there's definitely been times where I just wanted to give up on everything. But like, don't be so hard on yourself. Things will change and things will get better. Give yourself a chance. So those are basically all of the bad financial decisions that I made, and I added them all up on my phone. So let's see, what was the number, girly? If I wouldn't have made all of these bad financial decisions, I would have had an additional $180,000 in my savings account right now. And I know somebody just shit themselves. That is a large amount of money. That is security for years to come. And that was all just wasted. And the last thing that I'm gonna talk about today is credit cards, just because I feel like that is a very, very big thing that people like find themselves trapped in. And on Instagram Live, a couple people were asking me, how do you build your credit score? How do you deal with credit cards and all of that stuff? Credit cards can be your best friend and also your biggest enemy. My biggest recommendation, like, I'm gonna be honest, and I know there's gonna be some people that are like, girl, that's just not possible, but don't open more than one credit card. Never open more than one credit card. Because once you have one and then you max it out, then you try to open up another one, you're probably gonna max that one out too. And now you need to open up another one to pay off the other. It's gonna be a very bad cycle. Or if you're somebody that, I know there's a lot of people that are like, I wouldn't do that, but baby girl, wait until you're in the position and then talk. People are like, I can get a credit card with a $3,000 limit. I would never go over like $200. Like, I'd be fine. Next thing you know, now your credit card is up to $2,200 and you're like, fuck, I have to pay this back. Been millions and millions of people that have been in this position. That is why a lot of Americans are in credit card debt. How do I use my credit card? I did get approved for a very, very high limit, but I do not even dare go near that. I only use my credit card for my water bill, my gas bill, and my gas. And at the end of every month, I pay it off completely. I am only using my credit card to have an additional line of credit to go towards my credit score and build it. The reason why your credit score is important is because when you go to buy a house, when you go to, you know, finance a vehicle, things like that, the bank is gonna look at that, and the lower your score, the worse of a rate you're gonna get, is because they're gonna be like, wait, why should I trust you? You flopped on these payments. Your score is low for that reason. You fucked up here. Why should we trust you and give you $30,000? You're probably not gonna give it back. And then the interest rates are super fucking high and now you're trapped and you're spending double on the car than it was even worth. That's why it's important to make sure your credit score is as high as possible so you can get better rates in the future. My biggest advice to everybody: live within your means. You do not need to try to keep up with people. I know social media makes it hard when you see people spending this on that and this on that. So then when you finally spend, you know, a good chunk of change on something, you're like, fuck, I did this. Like, yes, but like, do you feel that way because you did it for yourself? Or do you feel that way because you're excited to show other people? Think about that before you make a big purchase next time. Do things for yourself to make yourself happy, and make sure that you're not going to be happy now and then be financially burdened a month later. Financial security is more comforting than going to an event that you can't afford. Financial security is more comforting than buying a bag that you can't afford and now you're like, fuck, now I'm in debt. Don't do that to yourself. I understand people have the fear of missing out on things or missing out on objects and wanting to keep up and all that, but like, don't do it to yourself. Because in reality, most of us are never gonna see $1 million. The amount of times I have heard people complain about finances and all this, but here I see them buying Louis Vuitton. This, eating at the most expensive restaurants. Why? Obviously, I know I was in the position in the past where, you know, I was wasting money on things here and there, but I never did anything to impress other people. I was doing it for myself. Looking back at it, it's like, damn, I could have had all of that money in my bank account saved up and I could have spent it on something more important to me. I have always told myself, if I cannot buy it 3 times over, I cannot afford it. And that is with everything that I purchase in my life. If I see something that I want to purchase and if it gets lost, can I replace that and not worry about it? Maybe not, so I shouldn't purchase it. I know that may seem like a kind of mindset, but like, it saved me a lot of money. If you cannot buy something 3 times over, you cannot afford it. So my advice for starting to build up your credit score: open up a credit card, ask them for a $500 limit every single month, use it on gas, maybe a bill, maybe there, or use it for just your rent or your mortgage and just use it for that. Don't use it for anything else, and make sure that you pay it off immediately. So my biggest advice when it comes to credit cards and opening them: only open up one. And there's a lot of credit cards that have really good benefits as well, so you can save, you know, money here, you get 10% off here, you get 3% cash back here or there. So like I said, open one up, but pay that shit off immediately. Don't keep adding up, racking up, and trying to purchase things you can't afford. Just because you got a credit card and they give you a balance of $1,500 does not mean go and spend $1,000, because guess what? On the 30th, you owe $1,000 to them. And if you can't pay it and you're over here paying the minimum of $20, $30, it's going to keep rolling over, the interest rate is gonna keep picking up, and you're gonna continue to owe more and more and more money. Be smart. Don't live outside of your means. The sun is starting to do something I'm not appreciating, so that's it for today's video. Well, it is getting very bright in here, so I need to exit. So I hope I helped somebody in this video and I shared some idiotic moves that I made in the past. Hey, we all live and we all learn. I just smacked the hell out of my hand on that. So that's it for today's video. If you guys have any questions or comments, I always check all of my comments and I'm always interacting with you guys. So feel free to subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and leave a comment or any questions that you had in this video. Go stream my new song, Social Suicide, on Apple Music and Spotify. The music video is on my channel now. Enter the TikTok contest for a chance to win $500. It ends tomorrow. I will be contacting the winners personally tomorrow at midnight. So everybody, when you wake up on Saturday morning, check your DMs and see if you won. That is it, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Bye.